I don't usually do shit like this. Yet today I'm going to go out on a limb and I got nothing to lose. So I'm going to enter into a contest that I was invited to enter into. And I'm going to invite 5 other people into this contest as well. And I want to first start out with thanking Ryan Stewman, Veronica Figueroa, John Cheplack, all my business partners, Vanessa, Lori, Sandra, everybody in the office. I want to thank all you guys. I really want to thank my wife. Mainly because no matter what happens at the end of this video, I'm going to accomplish everything I want to in this life. And I live a dream today no matter freaking what. Why that's important, why that matters, because I don't live a dream because I have everything. I don't live a dream because I have money, because I'm not filthy rich. I live a dream because growing up, the life I live compared to the life I have right now, at times growing up was a little bit of a nightmare. But today, because of the vision, because of what I went through as a kid, I was able to create the life that I feel like is perfect for me. A life where a home is full of love. There's nobody getting beat. There's nobody coming home drunk and tearing stuff up. I live a great life because of what I grew up in, and I get to provide what I dreamt of as a kid for my children, and because of that, I get to live a dream. So I'm not here to tell stories and make you feel sorry for me. I'm not here to take you down a path of, all the shit I've ever been through. In fact, I feel opposite about things. I'm here to tell a testimonial because I believe it's about time people heard my story, and I believe it's about time that I really opened my box and I allowed other people to see inside of, just a life and situations where you can change everything if you want to. So, number one, don't ever feel sorry for me because I live an amazing life. In fact, I feel sorry for people who have not had the adversity and hardship that I've had in my life. That's number one. Number two, my life is a cakewalk compared to what some people go through in this world. Third world countries, dying of hunger and starvation, things like that. Like, because I live in America, and I'll go ahead and say it, I live in America, the greatest country in the world. I live in Texas, which is the greatest state in the United States, right? I live in Houston, which is the greatest city in that state. So therefore, I wake up every day, regardless of my circumstance, I have a freaking head start, and I'm going to do something with that shit every damn day. So don't ever feel sorry for me. For me, it's about sharing a testimonial. It's about touching people's hearts. In fact, I'm part of a group called Relaunch Live where I go around and I talk about real estate. And they call me the closer, and my job is to really just punch people dead in the heart. And I always start off with this statement. I say, here's the truth of the matter. I'm up here on stage and we're going to talk about real estate, and everybody that's talked to you today is here to help you to grow. But the fact of the matter is, of you 500 or 300 or 200 people there in this room right now, maybe 1 to 10% of you is going to do anything with what we told you today. And I say that with purpose because I'm hoping I piss some of you off to where that number goes up and more of you actually do something with what we tell you today. My job isn't just to give you the what's and the where's and the why's. My job is to hit you in the heart and get you emotional so that you get off your ass and you go and do something, because that is impact and that is why I'm here. I'll give you the backstory, and I don't want to get too deep into it right now. If you ever care to listen to it, we can definitely have conversations. I have no problem with that. Yet for me, I learned a lot of lessons, and I learned them the hard way. The first lesson, like one of the biggest lessons in my life, is understanding that blood isn't always like the strongest thing in the world. There's times in your life or in some people's life where people have been placed in your life to leave. People have been placed in your life to teach you the really hard lessons. So my birth mother, God bless her, I love her. I'm still getting to know her to this day, and I need to do a better job at that, to be honest with you. But she came from Mexico, and her and my dad got together, and they had me. And I thank God for that. I thank God that I was born first generation in this country. It's just an absolute blessing. But decisions she made and decisions my father made kind of separated her from my life, and I really don't know her very well. I love her to death, though. My birth father made his decisions as well, and he had some battles with some addictions and things, and honestly, it was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I didn't know who we were coming home to some days, and I didn't know who was coming home some days, and some days you just hide in the closet and hope you don't get your ass whooped for no good damn reason. I saw him break my mom's nose. I saw him do a lot of things that were a little bit scary. But again, I love my father. He gave me life, and he gave me an example of what not to do sometimes, and other times through his hard work, an example of what to do. And I thank God for him every day. God bless him. He's gone. Um, but the biggest lesson of these with parents and things like that is that I was raised by a redheaded Irish woman who is not my blood. Her name is Patricia Caney Ramirez. Remember that damn name. She was a volunteer in my life. She chose to be a volunteer. She chose to raise me. She chose to take me to baseball and those things and being an amazing woman in my life. And I absolutely love her. She's gone. And the journey of her leaving me was very painful. And I felt like it was at a time where I needed her the most. So this woman raises me as her own my just about my entire life up to about 17 years old. When I'm about 16, she comes home and she's crying, and she says, "Baby, I went to the hospital today," and I had been at school, and she explained because the day before she had some shoulder issues, and she said, "I got cancer, and I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be here." And she promised me she'd see me graduate. Turns out she didn't. I came home my senior year, and I found her. She had passed away. And first instinct for people is like, "I'm so sorry," and that's great. I appreciate that. I'll never turn down blessings or prayers. Truth of the matter is probably one of the greatest blessings that could ever happen in my life, because that pain transformed me. That pain that I felt that day as I laid in bed for hours watching her, praying that she would wake up, and knowing deep down that she wasn't. That pain I felt that day, it brought a lot of anger and a lot of fire out in me. I was already just a rough and rude and crude kid. But it brought some fire out me, and it pushed me to do things and really go out there and just kind of put myself out there in situations. Sometimes it got me in trouble, but later on those situations would push me to limits that actually made my life better. So that first big lesson in life is just understanding about blood, about relationships, and about love. Second biggest relationship, or second biggest education I got in my life, was when I met my wife, and we got together. We dated for a while. We ended up getting pregnant, and she changed my life. She saved me. She saved me from myself, because before her, I was in and out of jail, and I was causing a lot of problems. And honestly, I didn't believe in God, and I was angry all the freaking time. I was so angry that I was known in my area that I grew up in as a brawler. I was known as a fighter. I fought, and I fought, and I didn't lose. But even when not losing, you begin to learn, like, this angry person isn't a good thing. But I couldn't find peace because I didn't know where to find it. I was completely lost. So, for being my wife for a while, she convinced me to go to church, even though I believed it was just a book of stories. And that day I went to church, the pastor spoke to me, and he said some things that opened me up and opened my heart up. And I started to realize that God didn't take my mom at 17 years old. He gave me 17 years with an angel who chose to volunteer in my life. And when I started to realize that, and I started realizing that God kept me on this side of felony, God kept me on this side of the earth, of the dirt. I'm on top of the dirt, and I'm not under it. I made it. When I began to realize that all these things were a blessing and there was somebody watching me, it absolutely changed my life. And when I started to realize I had a whole lot to be grateful for, and that God was watching down and taking care of me, I realized that it was time for me to start paying it back. All the blessings that at the time did not feel like blessings, it was time for me to absolutely pay those blessings back. And I don't believe I'll ever be able to pay it all back, because the life I live is an absolutely blessed life. But I'm going to do my darndest to pay it all back as much as I can. And the only way I know how to do that is to serve God's people. Help as many people as I possibly can. Help people grow. Help people with my testimonial. Help them see a life that maybe they couldn't see for themselves. To share stories that may empower some people to change what they're doing. To share ideologies to help people think differently so they can become a better version of themselves. That's what I'm here for. And if I could sum it all up, it's in an analogy. And the analogy is this, that at the age of 17 and 18, You know, it was like I was a piece of glitter, and some days from heaven my mom could see me and some days she couldn't. And I know that the only way for my mom to see me from heaven is I have to shine my light. And how I shine my light is I help other people. I lift them up. I give them everything I got, you know, through, whether it's through testimonial, through education, or just a hug, a smile, and tell them I love them, whatever it may be. It's my job to lift as many people up as humanly possible, to be the volunteer in other people's life like she was in my life. And I believe that by spreading this light, by shining this light, that other people begin to shine my light too. And one day, if not already, we'll blind her from heaven. But the only way for me to make sure is I have to help as many people as I possibly can on this earth while I'm here. And that's my pursuit. And that's something I'm never going to give up on. And that's something that gives me purpose and fulfillment. And it's something that helps me to build a legacy that I can leave for my children as well. Because I just want them to look at me and not look at me in the eyes that I looked my father with. I want them to look at me with the eyes of love and understanding and proud that I am their father. And for all these things, like, I'm blessed. I'm crazy blessed. I get to live a dream every damn day. This contest is just a contest. If it works out, fantastic. If it doesn't, I'm going to get mine no matter what. But I figured I got nothing to lose. I make the video, shoot it in, see what happens. But man, Ryan, we're friends on Facebook. You know John Cheplack, he's my business coach. And just watching you step out and put yourself out there for the world, it's been an inspiration for me. So no matter what happens, you've already impacted my life. If I could help you and impact your life and others as well, let's go to work and let's do that shit. If not, it's all good. We're all going to be okay no matter what. God bless you. I love you. And hopefully we connect in other ways sometime in the future. Have a great day. Bye-bye.